Once outside, Nate quickly ushered Madeline into the back of the same cop car, then looked over at the detective and asked, "You'll give us a lift back to the hotel, right?" The detective nodded. "Yes, and I have a few more questions." "Good enough," Nate agreed. "I need to get her up there and to make a plan on how to keep her safe. As long as nobody knows where she is, she'll be relatively safe. But we came out today, which means that it's possible somebody has seen us. Someone could be on the lookout for her even now." He heard her gasp beside him as she grabbed his hand. He squeezed her hand back, then looked over at her and smiled. "It's just a chance. Not a big chance, though." "But you're right. If I had just stayed inside, nobody would even know where I was." She turned and glared at the detective. "If I die because of this, that's on you." He glared at her. "No, it's not. It's on the people who would kill you." Then he muttered something that eluded them both. "I take on way too much in my world as it is. We're just trying to solve cases." "You need to solve this criminal activity a whole lot faster," she declared. "It's putting the tourists who come to your city in danger." "It's not a danger that most people are exposed to, but when it does happen, it can get pretty ugly." "It already happened," she muttered. "We're sitting here as proof of that." Back up in the hotel room, she sat down on the couch and looked over at Brody, who came back just behind them. "It seems as if the coffee and the food were a long time ago." He glanced at the trolley still in the room, with the empty dishes on it, but he nodded. "I can get some more." Then she reconsidered that. "Actually, can we make that a pot of tea?" He nodded. "I'll get both." He looked over at the detective. "Are you joining us?" The detective rubbed his forehead. "Thank you. I would appreciate that." Soon they were all seated, almost as if friends, instead of the guarded relationship they had before. The detective turned to her. "Can you think of anything that Anna might have had on her, with her, that would have been out of the ordinary or that could have held diamonds?" She blinked at that. "It never occurred to me to think of diamonds," she muttered. "You always think of drugs, not diamonds." "Drugs are what everybody hears about, but a lot of smuggling of illegal diamonds definitely occurs all around the world. We're trying to stop it, obviously." "Sure," she muttered, sitting back. "Let me just think about it for a moment." Mentally, she went back over the little bit that she had seen of Anna, but it was pretty hard to see her behavior as anything other than absolute panic. When she woke up, she was in a panic, and that was the most prevalent thing I remember. But did she have anything on her that somebody would have taken or that stood out somehow? I don't know. "That's understandable. Anything else?" "One thing was strange, though, because she was dressed in jeans and a t-shirt, and I don't think she had anything in her pockets any more than I did. Yet she had her hair bundled up, like originally in a fancy updo. Now, of course, after her kidnapping and sleeping, it was messy. Her hair was brown, shoulder length. At least I assume so because of the wispy ends that I could see falling out of her bun. Everything else was normal. She had on shoes, runners, so there could have been something in the soles of her shoes, I suppose. If she wore a bra, that's probably the best way to smuggle diamonds." The detective looked at her sharply. "Pardon?" "They could have easily been sewn into a bra. Did they take a look at that?" "I don't know, but I'll get them to do that." With that, the detective stood and walked a few feet away to make a quick phone call, then sat back down. "It would be nice if that was going on, but if she had the diamonds on her body, that meant her killer didn't get the diamonds. So these people could still be looking at Madeline here as holding their diamonds." "If Anna's killer didn't get them from her or from my backpack, where I supposedly smuggled them through customs for the criminal ring, the kidnappers would already have the diamonds. Plus, the hotel security footage showed Anna in disguise and in a different outfit with a bag the previous night, so the kidnappers should have checked her bag too." "Right. And after checking all those places, the kidnappers may still be after you because they didn't get their diamonds back." "But we don't know for sure that they're still after me or that they are still looking for their diamonds," she pointed out. "Granted, Brody and Nate are keeping me safe out of an abundance of caution. Yet there hasn't been any problems for me since I escaped. Maybe the kidnappers sent the housekeeper to let me loose on purpose, because maybe the kidnappers are also working with the house-cleaning woman on staff at that hotel." "It's possible, yes," the detective nodded thoughtfully. "It's an interesting theory, anyway.